My girlfriend, she's real into sports, and she's big into softball. She was playing the other day, and she's out in the field, and bam, line drive right to her face, right? It was awesome. She caught it with her eye. So, it's not even the joke. So now I've got to walk around town with her, and she's got this huge black eye, and I don't know if you guys have ever experienced this, but everybody gives you the dirtiest fucking looks, you know? And at first I didn't really understand what was going on, and then it clicked. I was like, oh, she's got a black eye. All right. And that's fun and whatnot, but it got old, you know, after a couple of days, and the last straw was really these two old ladies mugging me in Kohl's. And I was just like, you know what, fuck this. If I gotta deal with this, I'm gonna have fun with it. So, out of nowhere, I just start screaming at her. I was like, oh yeah? What happened last time you had a thought? Is that black eye making you deaf now? That's not even the most funny, hilarious part to me was when she tried to explain to people I was kidding. She'd be like, no, I got it playing softball. He's kidding. Playing softball. I'd be like, oh yeah, yesterday I was falling down the stairs. How about we stick to our fucking story? Oh, she's just dumb. I like helping people out with their relationships, and I'm sure some of you guys have been on this where you're on the first date and it's going great, just a great first date, and you're like, oh, how do I make sure that the second date happens? How do I ensure this, you know? And I know there's never like 100% way to do it, but I've got a method that works really well. Next time you're out on a date with a girl, halfway through the date or at some point, beat her ass and drop her off at the shelter. Because statistically speaking, those women go straight back to the guy that put them there in the first place. We got any parents in here? Nobody wants to admit it. Single moms? Anyone that wants to be a single mom in 9 months from now? I'm not buying your drinks, but you can come talk to me. So I'm a single parent. I got a 10-year-old, and I don't know if you guys have seen the homework they do these days, but it's fucking ridiculous. Like the math homework my son brings home, it's never like 5 times 5 or 8 times 9. It's all these goddamn story problems, right? And I understand why they're doing it. They're trying to make it relate to the kids. But they're ridiculous, you know? It's stuff that would never happen. It's always like, Megan has to buy 20 packages of meat for a picnic. 5 of those packages are turkey. How many people give a fuck? No one. No child cares. It's not a scenario. Nobody goes on picnics anymore. You know? If you're gonna make it real. That's all I'm saying. How about this one? For every boyfriend Megan has, she sucks 5 dicks. How many boyfriends can Megan have before her father doesn't love her anymore? No, the answer would be Megan's father never loved her. I will also accept that Megan doesn't know her father. Alright guys, that's my time. Thank you.
My ex-girlfriend gave me a call a couple of days ago. She said, hey Nolan, I recently found somebody else and I don't know if I can keep talking to you. And my first response was, I hope he hits you. I'm like, oh, shit, Nolan, take that back. I'm like, I'm really sorry. You're a nice guy, Nolan. Like, to actually talk to her. So I was just like, Listen, I hope that you guys fall in love and he kind of gives you everything that I couldn't be, and that you guys just eventually just have sex in a dirty bathroom without a condom and he comes up inside of you, and then you have the kid 9 months later and he looks like the kid from Mask, not the Jim Carrey film, but the one made in the 80s when the kid's all deformed. He's like, stove's hot. And then you develop an alcohol disorder, so you have to quit school, and then your parents don't love you, so you're on your own in a trailer park and you're blowing guys for money. I'm not leaving. And you're blowing guys for money, and basically social service takes away your stupid dumb kid away, and then you have nothing left, so you die of liver cirrhosis, and me and your new boyfriend become best friends. We're just like, hey, you remember that cunt we used to date? Yeah, that's right, best friend. Boom, fuck that kid, we don't need him. I'm not bitter about the relationship ending. But I didn't know how to end the call. Like, it's really hard ending that call, and eventually you kind of realize after a while that you just need to...
I do want to, honestly though, while I have my few minutes on stage, guys, I do want to talk to you about something that's very important to me, a little bit of a public service announcement here. There's a word that we've been using for far too long, I think, in our everyday society that we really need to get away from, you guys. I mean, seriously, it's hurtful. It's about a certain type of people. You hear it in music sometimes it's in movies or TV shows. Some comedians even use it, for the shock value. And we need to get away from it, you guys. We really do, okay? And for those of you who don't know the word that some of you have figured out, some of you don't know what I'm talking about, the word that I'm referring to is ginger, okay? Now, give me some of that. There we go. You've sat in front before. Okay. Now, see, what happened there was, when I was leading up to that, everybody's butthole was like puckered up so tight. And then I said ginger, and whoo, that's part of the fucking problem, all right? That is a racial slur, and I don't care how funny you guys think that is, but look it up in the dictionary, all right? Look up racial slur in the dictionary, not ginger, I don't know that's in there, but look up racial slur in the dictionary, and it says a singular word that's used to describe a group of people who share similar physical attributes and other such, types of things. That's it, right? Okay? No, you're not on board? All right, I see it. How about if let's talk about stereotypes. What if I were to say a certain class of people or a certain group of people was really good at sports and had low credit scores and loved fried chicken? Oh, that's offensive, right? Or if I were to say another group of people was great at swimming and climbing fences and loved to do landscaping. Again, very offensive. But as soon as I get on stage and say, oh, there's a certain group of people that doesn't have a soul and very light skin and red hair and everybody that tempers, it's hilarious. Fuck you, all right? That's a racial slur. I mean, at least do us the favor. If you're going to use the word and you're not one of us, at least drop the hard R at the end and put an A in it and be like, you my ginger. I mean, give us that. At least. Right? I don't think I'm asking too much, you guys. All right, well, fine. How about some ginger reparations? How can we get some of that going, right? Like maybe we got those new Star Wars films coming out, right? Maybe we cast a ginger in one of those. Pull a Samuel L. Jackson on those things, right? Like they threw him in there to make it all equal, gave him a purple lightsaber, maybe an orange lightsaber for me. I mean, that'd be fine, right? You can't tell me you don't want to see a ginger Jedi, or a Ginjai, as I think they'd be called. You can't tell me you don't want that to happen, you guys. Like, that would be awesome. I will say this, though. I will say this. That would really make the trilogy a lot shorter, Because if you put a ginger Jedi in there, and you have to, document whether he decides to be on the light or the dark side of the Force, 3 movies, not necessary. Maybe 20 minutes, You sit him down and be like, okay, now listen here, young man. You can either grow up on a desert planet with no clouds and 2 suns, or we'll wrap you in leather from head to toe, put you on a spaceship, you'll never see the light of day again, and you get to murder people with your no soul having ass. Yeah, these are the droids you're looking for. In fact, I will choke this old man out if you get me out of this goddamn sun immediately. It'll be a little bit. How about Silence of the Lambs with a ginger in it? How about that one, right? We remake that? Yeah? Yeah? Instead of kidnapping, you know, whatever it was, Buffalo Bill, is that in Buffalo Bill? Hipsters, I'm sorry. Buffalo Bill. Right? Like, if he was kidnapping gingers, just imagine, you know, he's out there at the playground, you see him with his windowless van, he's just kind of scoping everything out. All of a sudden somebody taps him, this redhead just taps him on the back of the shoulders. Excuse me, it's hot as fuck out here. I happen to notice you have a windowless van. You mind if I climb in there for a while? To get out there, son? Yeah, that'd be cool. You have a basement with no windows? Let's go! Let's go fucking right now, right? Because you're gonna give me lotion? Fuck yes! Right? Jodie Foster would show up and be like, I'm gonna get you out of here. Be like, bitch, leave, I got a good thing going on. What the fuck? There's a ginger up front that is laughing harder than any of you. Love it.
I am a Husker woman, and I have a story to prove it, because I was hanging out with my friends, and I was meeting this new person, this girl. She was like, you know, she's not going to stay around. She just worked with somebody. And she goes, hey, I don't mean to be rude, but is that a hearing aid? And I go, nope, just spaghetti. And I put it in my pocket. Like, I'm gonna keep that for later. I should explain how I eat spaghetti, especially when no one's around. I don't use a bowl, and this is a dirty little secret. It's not anymore because I'm telling everybody, but I take noodles sometimes. I put them in my hand and then I just put the sauce on top of the noodles, and then I go, fuck it, no time for bowls, and then I just eat it. It's like that scene from Beauty and the Beast. You get it. I'm gonna actually tell you guys a story. I gotta get out of here soon because my cats aren't gonna pet themselves. You fucking knew it. There's no way I'm a dog person. There's no way. Even my cat fucking hates me. My brother's like, what are you doing Saturday night? Just kidding. You know, you're probably hanging out with your cat. And I was like, joke's on you, my cat fucking hates me. Like everyone I've ever dated. Just kidding, I don't date ever. I used to be bulimic, and that's true. That's just on a long list of things I've failed at. You're supposed to remember to throw up. I knew there was something I was supposed to do. Oh yeah. But I purged myself of that, so I don't do that anymore. It's called words, you guys. This is gonna be my last one. I was recently in a bathroom because I do it every day. I know I need to stop, but I was in the bathroom and I went to the first stall, and a woman right behind me goes into the second stall, and I'm minding my own business, and she just starts talking out loud. Not even to me, just talking out loud. She's just like, ooh, you never go into the first stall. I'm like, I'm standing here just minding my own fucking business. Because I pee with a funnel. And toilets are dirty. I'm not even going near it. And I'm minding my own business, but she just kept going, you know, oh, you never go into the first stall. And I go, I'm sorry, are you talking to me? And she goes, yeah, you never go into the first stall. Have you ever seen Mythbusters? And I went, the one on social etiquette? Because you didn't. And she goes, no, they did one, and they just prove you never go into the first stall. And so I just, I was like, you know what, this woman's really giving me some advice here. So I just, went down and grabbed her ankle and I said, thank you. And I just rubbed her little ankle bone. Just rubbed it. She stopped talking pretty fast after that, you guys. And then shuts you up like an ankle grab.
Kind of smells like weed over by where I was sitting. Actually, now that I'm up here, it kind of smells like weed up here too. I shouldn't have said anything. You ever have a dream that you're taking a shit? And before you wake up, you realize it's a dream? And your first thought is, oh God, I hope I didn't just shit myself. Me neither. You ever Google for porn and then realize you just updated your Facebook status? Me neither. My bank told me if I sent them in a picture, they would put it on my credit card. So I sent them a picture of a better credit card. They didn't like that. I wrote a country song yesterday. It's called All My Exes Think I'm Sexist. It's actually not a comedy song, it's a joke. Joke over. What do you think? Not doing that one again. Did you hear they legalized marijuana in Uruguay? Marijuana is now legal across the board, border to border, 100% completely legal. Everyone's growing it. It's now the cheapest thing in Uruguay. You can even afford to buy weed in Uruguay, even if you live in Uruguay. You know what I'm thinking, right? Fuck Uruguay, I like Netflix. I see a lot of Vietnam veterans with old Asian wives. Is that like a consolation prize or something? Don't aw that. We lost. Ooh. I live in a pretty rough neighborhood. It's a colorful neighborhood. It's a low income area. We call it Michigan, but we're allowed to talk like that because we live there. It's a pretty rough neighborhood, actually. It's so bad that whenever I hear a blood-curdling scream in my neighborhood, I just convince myself that someone's telling a story of when somebody else got kidnapped and stabbed. I see a lot of people jogging in nicer neighborhoods. People are actually running from shit in my neighborhood. Actually, the other day, my neighbor stole my sprinkler. That's not a joke, he stole my sprinkler. I knew it was mine because it was still attached to my house. These wild-ass kids broke my sprinkler. One thing about living in my low-income area is you never see a good, decent yard sale. The yard sales in my neighborhood are so few and far between. You have to almost approach it like it's a wildlife, or like it's some kind of rare creature. The first thing, if you find a yard sale in the ghetto, do not make eye contact with the homeowner. That is crucial. Let me run through a usual transaction at a yard sale in my neighborhood.
Bitch, what you looking at, bitch? That's right, keep walking.
In the nicer neighborhoods, they're very proactive in getting your business. I could just walk through the neighborhood. You're not even near their property yet. Hi. Hi. Do you see anything that you like? No. Thank you. You got to be proactive as well. You got to get ahead of them. You got to ask for something that they know they don't have. You got any unicycles? No, sorry. Sorry, I will take my business elsewhere. I was doing that for a while until the last guy, he was like, yeah, unicycles are in the basement. After you. It's this old ass man. I was thinking, am I gonna have to, this like fight or flight is kicking into my head. Am I gonna have to fight this 90-year-old man? I could take a 90-year-old man. I could definitely flight from a 90-year-old man. I could outrun him, but then the comic in me starts thinking, maybe he has unicycles in his basement. He raped me. I just remembered I ate sushi earlier today and I didn't put a picture of it on Facebook. I'll get one out later. My mom always told me to avoid female urologists. You know what a urologist is? It's basically a dick doctor. And I've met the women that have devoted their higher education completely to dick. And they aren't doctors. It is a little disappointing Brian introduced me as having a really cute girlfriend, because I was just going to come up here and start hitting on y'all. Hey, hipsters, huh? You know, I do have a Waldo tattoo somewhere on my body. That's not true. I do have a wonderful girlfriend. We've been dating for a little bit over 2 years.
Applaud!
She's not sick of me yet. Yeah, time flies when you're trying not to fart too loud. Yeah, it's been about 2 years, so yeah, of course, I'm looking for a threesome. So far, it's just me. Let's see, no yard sales in the ghetto. One thing I do like about living in my rough neighborhood is there's a lot of prostitutes out there. I like prostitutes. Let me get one thing straight right now. I've had far too much sex for free in my life to not actually play with this concept. It's going to be $100 for 1 hour and you'll do anything that I want? Put this bucket on your head and tune my piano. I need a good target for the ping pong balls. And make it snappy. You have to be a clown at my niece's birthday party in 10 minutes. After that, you will be plotting out the foundation of my new gazebo in the backyard. It's not just going to be her, one person building the gazebo. No, I'm going to get a team later. I'm going to pull up to a line of prostitutes at like 4 o'clock in the morning like it's the guy standing behind the Home Depot. I'm going to walk up. I need three. Habla inglés? Can you tile? I'm just waiting. Right? The uniform is so much better than labor ready. It's a little bit more expensive. But the look on your neighbor's face when there's a woman in a bikini mowing your front yard. Delicious. I love that.
One of the things I found out when I came back, though, is that I was feeling really sick and I was like tired from putting on my underwear. I'd literally be out of breath. And I just assumed, oh, that's because I'm a fat guy. And no, it was double pneumonia. And then I went to the emergency room and they're like, hey, that double pneumonia is also failed kidneys, a failed heart, and a stroke, and failed lungs. And when I tell people the failed heart part, They're like, yeah, you look like you've never passed up fried food in your life. And then when I say the stroke part, they're like, aww. Because they just feel bad for the 5 seconds ago, assuming it was from fried food. And instead it was just double pneumonia. It was like my lungs were a Capri Sun. And the weird thing is, like, you have heart failure. It's a bummer. It's like my heart's working 10%, so I thought I was just lazy, and now my body is physically lazy. It's nice though. I'm on disability, but unfortunately, it's not the kind of disability that gets me good parking. It's the kind of disability that makes Republicans frown upon me. But the joke's on the government, because I was an English major, so I was likely going to be unemployed anyway. Being an English major is basically telling your parents, hey, I want to be a disappointment. Being an English major kind of explains why I grew this beard. Being a theater major is basically telling your parents, hey, I might be gay. Being a musical theater major is confirming it. I feel like it'd be really easy to be a religion major if you were atheist, because then you just leave your homework blank. Yeah. I was at the hospital, and like the first night, it's 3 in the morning, it's been a crazy day, I find out like stuff's just failing. And this guy comes and is like, I need to give you a physical. I'm like, okay, whatever. And I've never had a physical before, because I didn't try out for a lot of sports teams. And apparently they don't give physicals when you sign up for Quiz Bowl in high school. Like, I could have sprained a thumb. Being in Quiz Bowl is basically like putting your penis on a shelf and saying, hey, I'll see you in college. Yeah, so I go through the physical, and this guy's like, well, I need to touch your balls now. I don't think he said it like that, but it was 3 in the morning, I was really groggy. And I'm like, well, he's a doctor, I should let him. And so he did. The weird thing is, I never saw that guy again. I feel like after the physical, you should make sure that doctor just moseys in the room at least once. I don't care if he just has a clipboard and doesn't say anything. I just want to know that guy exists. Because next time I'm going to hear a Spectrum Heart commercial on the radio and just cry. On the bright side, with me telling you that I had a stroke, now if I forget a joke, you'll be like, oh, he's not dumb, he's just strokey.